Today, we're talking about the cold, hard truth of what it's like to be a real estate agent. Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Amanda. Thanks for joining us today. We are going to jump into the truth about being a real estate agent. And when I got in real estate way back in 2008, I didn't know what I didn't know. In some ways, it's way worse than I ever expected, but in other ways, it's way better. So, what's it really like to be a real estate agent? The truth is, it's really, really difficult. And the first difficult item that comes up is there are so many agents. So many. You shake a tree, 50 of them will fall out. And that's only gotten worse over the years. So it makes it very difficult to stand out from the crowd and show people why they should work with you and what makes you different. That is an ongoing challenge and something that I work on regularly, because just saying, oh, I'm going to give you good service and, I know the local market, it doesn't cut it. That is not going to be enough to get you business. Another surprise that I was not expecting when I got into real estate is it is nowhere near as flexible as people and the general public likes to portray it or thinks that it is. Real estate is 7 days a week. And when you first get into the business, you are just grinding and working so hard that it's really hard to even set boundaries. I would work until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. But the flexibility factor that everyone seems to tout about, oh, real estate agents, they have so much flexibility. Not really. Yeah, you might be able to go to the grocery store on a Tuesday, but your flexibility is limited to what your client's schedule is. And as a new agent, so many of you will be working with buyers. So your schedule is going to be dictated by what their schedule is, because it obviously has to match up for you all to be able to meet to tour houses together. The so-called flexibility is also a challenge in general, because it is flexible in the sense that you don't technically have a boss. No one's going to call you in the morning and say, why didn't you show up for work? But you need a plan. In real estate, there's no one that's going to say, oh, Amanda, you just got your license. Here's your SOP. This is exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it to be successful. That doesn't happen. There is no SOP. You have to figure it out on your own, and it takes constant effort. Even to this day, I am always taking classes every single week to remain on top of the current trends and make sure that my skill set remains sharp. So flexible, yes and no. No, in the sense that you are going to need to accommodate your client's schedule. When you become a listing agent, you certainly have more control over your schedule, but when you're working with buyers, not so much. And flexible, good in the sense of you are in control of your schedule, but that can be a bad thing if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing and when you're supposed to be doing it. Inconsistent income is a big hurdle in real estate, especially when you're just starting out. I can remember my first full year of real estate. I had a lot of closings in the first quarter, and then I went all the way to August without any closings. So you can go months without income, and having inconsistent income can be a big stress factor if you don't have a lot of savings or a partner who maybe has a consistent paycheck that can carry your household through. There's just so many different factors. And nobody likes to talk about the fact that in real estate, there's no paycheck, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it is. There is no paycheck until you actually close a deal. And I think that one of the really hard truths about being in this business is there may be a couple months, maybe more than a couple months where you don't close anything and you don't have that consistent income. And that makes it very difficult. And even when you get to the point of having a consistent income, you've got to have a budget and stick to that budget so that no matter what you're bringing in on a monthly basis, you're spending the same or a similar amount. That way you have a safeguard for those months where maybe you don't close anything and don't get a commission check. Then when you do get a commission check, another thing that nobody really likes to talk about is you're a 1099. So if you've got that nice, say, $10,000, $15,000 commission check, that's not all of yours. Whatever your broker takes, we're going to just put that aside. It doesn't really make a difference. I want to talk about holding back some of your check for taxes and for savings. That is so important as an agent. And the truth is, so many agents, they spend their entire commission check. Don't be that agent. Set up an account. You want an operating account, you want a tax account, and you want a savings account. And even when you first start out, if you can only save 5% of every commission check, that's okay. We all start somewhere, but have that account set up. So as soon as you get your commission check, or if it's a direct deposit, you immediately disperse money into your tax account and your savings account. That way, come tax time, you are fully prepared, and throughout the year, you can pay your quarterly taxes, and your savings will continue to build. No matter how slow it is, some savings is better than no savings. Knowing where your business comes from. Tracking your metrics is so important, and it's another topic that nobody really likes to talk about, not, mainstream. And when you're an agent, you have to know where your business is coming from. And the reason for that is there's 24 hours in a day, and you could literally work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if your body would allow you and didn't need sleep, and you would still have something to do as a real estate agent. The train of need to do's never stops. So that means that as an agent, you have got to determine where your business is coming from and then focus your energy on that source. Whether it's your sphere of influence or Facebook or for sale by owners, expireds. There are so many ways to generate business, and they all work. It just depends on what your way is to generate business. Once you figure that out and you see where the bulk of your income is coming from, make sure that you are devoting the majority of your time to that source so that you can continue to build upon your income and tap into where your skills are really best used. My last truth about real estate for today is it comes down to doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. I really cannot tell you a time where I've woken up in the morning and said, yes, I'm so excited to call for sale by owners today. I'm not excited about it. Sometimes I'm more motivated than others, but rarely am I ever thinking, oh, this is definitely what I want to do. But I make that shift in my mind to say, I do want to do this and I'm going to do it because that's what means I can put food on the table for my family, or it will allow me to buy an investment property or a flip or whatever the situation is. You have to trick your mind into thinking, okay, I don't want to do this. I acknowledge that, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it well, and I'm going to do it consistently, because that's what's going to get you continued closings or attracting agents, whatever your business is in terms of real estate. That's what's going to get you there. Doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. Very few people are probably going to tell you that because it doesn't really sound pretty, and it's not. But when it comes down to accomplishing whatever your big goal is and what drives you, that's what will ultimately make you want to continue down that path and make sure that you are getting closings consistently and seeing a more consistent income. Motivation is temporary. It's great when you're motivated. I love when I'm motivated. It makes doing things a little bit easier, but that's just not the reality. There's no way to be motivated every single day. So that's when it comes down to discipline and doing those things whether you feel like doing them or not. Bottom line, there are so many truths about real estate that really don't get the mainstream attention. It's not reality TV. It's not looking at 3 houses and your buyer picks from one and they definitely get that house and go to closing. It's hard. Real estate is such a difficult industry, but the reward, if you're willing to put in the work, is incredible and can absolutely get you to the life or the lifestyle that you desire. But it's about putting the work in day after day, and the most successful agents, you will probably never have a total picture of just how much they have sacrificed and what it's taken for them to get where they are. It takes years and it takes a ton of hard work. If you got some value from today's video, I'd appreciate if you would either like, comment, or subscribe. I always appreciate your feedback. It means a lot to me. Thank you all for tuning in today. I will see you next week.